Some people are actually crazy because they think the mirror is going to smile at them before they smile at the mirror. Now, the reason why I want to illustrate this in front of a mirror is because it's so true when it comes to a herpes diagnosis. Now, the world is always going to reflect your internal state, whether that is the way that you see yourself or the way that others see you. And it all comes down to the energy you're putting off, the expression you're giving off, and the mirror doesn't care. That's the thing. The mirror doesn't care about us. The mirror is only going to be there like, whatever you want to do, bro, I'm just going to reflect it back at you. Even if you don't like it, that's on you. And that's it. It's on you. So a lot of us want to be seen as lovable, worthy, dateable, not dirty. We want to not get rejected. We want to have a good conversation when it comes to dating. We want to feel like our old self. And this always comes from like a state of I want, which means we don't currently have. I'd like $1 million. But if I try to desperately want, then I'm not going to get it. But maybe if I act like I have $1 million, I'll get it eventually. Who knows? The money thing is a bit more complicated than navigating your diagnosis, which is actually a good thing. Because when it comes to overcoming your diagnosis, when it comes to feeling like yourself again and being able to date, all you have to do is change here and the mirror will reflect that. Now, this is all very abstract, so let's break it down simply. If you want to feel worthy of love, figure out how you can be worthy of love right now. So why aren't you worthy of love? Because herpes makes you undateable, it makes you unworthy. Question those things, question those beliefs and reframe them. There's a lot of people out there with herpes who are totally worthy of love. It's not a moral failing. It's not a judge of your character, unless you believe it is a judge of your character. Now, how do you date and how do you disclose and how do you, come across as confident and stuff? And that all is going to start with the mirror. Let's say you go up to a disclosure and you're uncertain, you're shaky, you don't have the education or the knowledge or, detachment from the stigma. You don't have that confidence. You're almost, you want to make this disclosure go well, but you can't because you're not identifying with that version of yourself in the mirror yet. So when you go and tell someone, as much as they may be totally confident about herpes themselves, educated, they're going to reflect your energy back at you. So let's say you come across someone who actually knows about herpes and you're crying and you're, over explaining and stuff. That person who might have even been okay if you'd been confident, if you'd reflected that energy to them, is going to be turned off. And the unfortunate part is that it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy where the things that we don't want to happen keep happening because we go in hoping for something else. So the key here is use that visualization of the mirror is not going to smile at me first. I have to actually smile. And there's another video about the imposter syndrome and how when you initially step into a version of yourself that's thriving, that is confident, that has good thoughts and actions and beliefs, it's going to feel a little bit weird at the beginning. You're going to almost feel like, wait, should I be confident despite herpes? Should this be not a big deal to disclose? And you have to reinforce that going against the norm is how you actually deal with your diagnosis. A lot of people out there are suffering. My coaching clients who've come out the other side, whether it's them being newly diagnosed or, coming across me years later, all they've had to do was go through that 3-step process. I'll leave a link to how I can help you in the description box, but it doesn't really matter. There is a way to overcome this, and it starts from not always trying to change the external so that we change internal. It comes from let's change ourselves first, and then everything else external is going to follow that.